I want to talk about being yourself and not taking on other people's opinions and projections of what they would do. I am literally on the road right now, and I'm using my phone to record this podcast because it's on my freaking heart and it's time to let it be shared. Instead of having to wait for the perfect moment when I take a shower, put my makeup on, sit down on my podcast chair and turn all the lights on and record. So I hope y'all appreciate this realness and this vulnerability because we're going to get into it right now. And so I really want to talk about doing what you want to do. The specific story I want to share with you is when I was making my podcast cover right now was not what I wanted at all. I love that photo. Don't get me wrong. It's a freaking beautiful photo. Shout out to Preston for capturing that photo at Rumble. But that's not what I wanted. There's a different picture that's in my mind and on my heart. When I think of a stronger you, that's the picture that comes up. And it's a picture that I had got taken from my friend Morgan, who's a professional photographer. And so the reason why I'm sharing this is because it's a picture of me smiling with my head to the side, and I'm just like super like soft-ish looking. And that's what I initially wanted. And I had asked people what their opinions were, right? As most people do. I know I'm not the only one. Like I asked friends, out of all these pictures, which one do you want, right? Like, this is a big thing for me. Like, I'm starting a podcast. I wanted to make sure that I had like the best cover photo and one that was capturing for people to want to click on so they can hear my story and change their fucking life. And so when I asked this one person who had a really big influence on my life at the time, he said that did not represent a stronger you. And I get it because I'm smiling. And so when people think a stronger you, they think tough girl, stronger you. But no, what a stronger you actually is, all fucking parts of you. The soft girl, the hard girl, the CEO, the sexy badass, the MILF, even though I'm not a mother, right? The girly girl, the Tom girl, all of it. And the smiling girl, the me, like all parts of you. That's what a stronger you is. A stronger you is being fucking vulnerable enough to let all parts of you out. Because being vulnerable is being strong. And so if y'all can take anything from this, is being vulnerable is being strong. And I invite you to be vulnerable, regardless if you're a coach or if you're not a coach in this space, or if you're a CEO, if you're not a CEO. The more vulnerable you are with people in your life gives other people the opportunity to be vulnerable with you. Have you had people in your life, like maybe family members, who you wanted to get closer with, but they weren't opening up? If you have that in your life, I invite you to try this on. You don't have to do this, but I invite you to try this on. Share something vulnerable with them and see how they start to show up with you. Right? Just try it. Just try it. And let me know how that works for you. And so going back to the podcast cover photo. Oh, by the way, I feel like this podcast is already so fucking fire because I'm just going in the moment. I'm going to start doing this more. Y'all just won't see my face as much, but I'll upload at least with my face still once a week. But these little short talks, I'm gonna do it because this is what resonates for me. And so we listening to that. We're not doing what everyone else is doing because we're not everyone else. We are ourselves. Anyway, so yeah, I had this person in my life at the time who had a big influence on me. And I took his opinion. And it was to go with a stronger, tougher photo. And that's what my podcast cover photo is right now. And it just hasn't freaking resonated. Ever since I uploaded my podcast cover photo, it just really fully hasn't resonated. And it took me, 3-4 months to finally make the shift. But hey, sometimes that happens. Sometimes you may not have the awareness right away, or you might have the awareness, but you might have other things going on in your energy that you don't have the space to have the full awareness and take action and change with it. And so with that being said, have grace with yourself. if you're going through something right now and you feel like it took you a long time to have that realization or take change and action, girl, have grace, meaning be easy on yourself, be gentle with yourself, love on yourself, because life is freaking life, right? Like sometimes life lifes us, and I'm not gonna be this person who says life is always good, but I do believe everything is always happening for us and not against us. But sometimes life lifes us. And so really, really inviting you to have grace with yourself in this time of your life. If you're going through something, let's say you just found out maybe someone was doing you wrong after being friends with them for a year, or let's say your business partner just let you down. Have grace, because we're all doing the best with what we have while we can. Wow, this felt so good. I'm so excited to upload this. I'm gonna actually go home. I'm on my way home right now. I'm gonna put this into a podcast. Bam, just like that. Ooh, as I see 444. 444 is an angel number, meaning your guardian angels are guiding and protecting you. I love it. But I want to end this episode with a question. And that question doesn't really have much to do with what I was talking about in the beginning, but it kind of relates. And that is, where in your life are you putting a filter on? And I just got done listening to this amazing podcast by Trent Shelton. He had a guest on. It was one of his most recent episodes. And he had this girl on. She was talking about how she gained weight, and then she would compensate by putting filters on, to the point where she didn't realize, but she was training her subconscious mind to feel that she always needed to hide something. And so regardless if you use an Instagram filter or not, my question to you is, where in your life are you putting a filter on? Are you overcompensating by trying to hide something? And once you answer that, I want you to ask yourself, how can I take action today to let the filter down? Am I ready to let the filter down? Because if you're not ready to do it, you're not going to do it to the capacity that you really deserve to let it down. And so when you're ready, I'm fully inviting you to let these filters down, because you're literally hiding who the fuck you are. Okay? And yes, I can be a very nice coach and a very nice friend and a hype girl, but real talk, let the fucking filter down. And so what did I do today? I posted a video and picture without a filter. I don't always use filters, but there are times where I use them a lot. And so I am practicing not using them as much, so I can be who I am, because I'm not ashamed to show who I am. It takes more energy to be someone who I'm not. So I hope this episode resonated with you guys. I'm sorry if you heard some things in the background. Again, I'm in the car while I'm filming this, as you probably heard my car there. But thank you guys so much for listening. Probably can't watch this because my face isn't on it, but I will get this on YouTube. If you also have not rated or reviewed my podcast channel on Spotify or Apple Music, please, I would appreciate it so much. It really helps me and supports me in being able to continue to do this, because I'm not getting paid for this podcast. I don't get paid for this. This is me doing it for free. And I want to give free content. And so this will just really support me in being able to do this even more by giving a rating, giving a review. It supports the channel. It pushes the channel out to more like-minded ladies like you to see it, to hear it, and to receive the message. But I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys on Monday in my next visual episode. Bye.